Alright, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video. It has been a windy and rainy week here in Southern California. So us California boys, we're starting to feel a little cooped up. But we did have a nice little weather window this morning in between storms where we had a chance to go up to one of my rock scallop spots and do a little shore dive. So yeah, we headed up there, got in the water, probably only in the water for about an hour and a half, and got some delicious scallops before that wind and rain kind of picked back up and we had to head home. But honestly, the visibility wasn't terrible. It was still pretty good. I was kind of expecting it to be, a little green after the rain or have some runoff or something like that, but yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was a little like stirred up from all the wind swell, but yeah, not too bad. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go get cleaned up, and then I'm gonna play some clips from earlier today of us diving around, just so you guys can kind of see what I look for when I'm looking for scallops and kind of what they look like when they're still attached to the rock, because they can be kind of hard to see. And then I'll throw in some just random fish clips or whatever else I saw swimming around down there with me today, and then I'll come back out here and I'll clean those scallops up, show you guys how I like to do that. And then tomorrow we got Nick and Lauren coming over, and I'm going to cook up the rock scallops and show you guys one of my favorite ways to do that. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to clean these real quick. But before I do that, I do want to mention that if you are interested in getting into freediving, or you are still kind of new at it, make sure you are very good at reading the forecasts and the conditions in the water, because freediving, spearfishing, collecting scallops, lobster is inherently dangerous. Whether it's getting stuck in kelp, wrapped up in your net on some rocks, the swell takes you out, and it is very important to, when you are making consecutive dives, especially for things like scallops or lobster, to make sure you stay up on the surface for at least twice as long as you're diving. So if you're dropping down for a minute, stay up on the surface 2, 3, 4 minutes. It seems like a long time, but trust me, you guys, you don't want to end up with a shallow water blackout. It's extremely dangerous. Some of the best divers in the world still end up doing that. So be extremely careful. Always dive with a buddy or have people nearby that can help you out. But yeah, let's clean a couple of these real quick. I'll show you guys what I like to do. If you look closely here, the scallops obviously are closed here. We did have an open one. This one's kind of opening up. They've been out of the water for a little bit, but you guys can see that's what you're looking for when you're diving. You can see that orange lip. There are some that have like more of a purple lip. Obviously those are a little harder to see, but that's kind of what you're looking for there. And as soon as you touch them or they feel your fin or your hand go by them and they feel the water disturbance, they'll close up like that, and then that's what they look like. So they almost disappear. So it's really important to either get them on the first try or find a way to mark them, or just remember where they're at. But once they've locked up, most of them stay closed. But if you look, every single one's going to have a little notch where you can stick a narrow, sharp knife. I don't like to use a serrated one. And then you're going to just slide it in there on, there's going to be a flatter side. This one's obviously a little deeper. You're going to stick it in there, and what you want to do is kind of stick it in and just slide the blade across that muscle that's holding the shell together. Because as soon as you cut that, it's going to separate. But ideally, you want to kind of hug the flatter edge and slide that knife that way. It'll pop open. You'll have a little sliver on this side, but then you'll have that nice, beautiful, big chunk down there on the bottom of this one, and then you can kind of scrape it out. So it's not as easy as it sounds. Everyone's a little different. Obviously, if they have different growths and stuff on there, but yeah, again, you just kind of want to find where it. You don't want to pry them open either. That's important, because if you pry them open, that meat's going to just rip, and you're not going to have that nice, beautiful piece of scallop. So right there, and you can see I'm flexing the knife, hugging this top part here, and I'm just going to kind of slide it away from you. Obviously, always cut away from yourself. Let's see if I got it. Might have missed a little piece there. There it goes. And see, that just pops right open. So we'll see how we did on this first one. It was really locked up. Oh, there we go. So see, I barely missed any meat right there, but we got this nice, beautiful piece of scallop right here. And this is one of the smaller ones also, you guys. So you'll see how big this piece of meat is. That's all the guts. Go ahead and just kind of remove that there. But then what I like to do is, same thing, you kind of want to flex the knife and just kind of scrape along the bottom here. Probably shouldn't cut towards myself, cut towards Dylan. And you can kind of just scrape that off right there. Perfect. So you got that nice, beautiful, big chunk of scallop right there. Obviously, I'll trim that up once we go inside on the cutting board with a little bit sharper knife. But some of the stuff peels off. But yeah, you want to trim all that dark stuff off right there. That's all the guts. You don't want to eat that. Obviously, always check your biotoxin hotline for the area you're in and diving. Most of the time, they'll tell you not to eat the guts. But yeah, that's just a nice, beautiful scallop off of one of the smaller ones that we brought home today. So yeah, let's do one more real quick, and then I'll knock the rest out quickly, and we'll see you guys in the kitchen when we are cooking these things up. So, that one's got like a rock stuck to him. That one you can kind of actually see the scallop shell. Some of them you can't even really tell. It literally just looks like a rock. This one you can see. But he does not have
an opening.
No, that one's going to be tough. Let's find an easier one. Just for video's sake. Look at that one. That one's cool looking.
Sick.
Yeah, that one wasn't getting away from me. Let's just do this guy here. This guy's already opening up. He wants to show you guys what he looks like in here. So this one's already open. So see that? He just closed down on the knife. But see that? He's just locking down on it. But yeah, so I'm hugging the flatter side with that knife. Look at that one.
Big one.
Big, beautiful scallop.
Thanks, huge.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That's going to be so
like
good, yeah. So it's exciting. See that? I almost cut towards myself. It's exciting. I want to get this thing out of the shell, but take your time, you guys. Especially after being on the water all day, you don't want to end up cutting your hand open. Look at
Nice.
that one.
So,
Like it got almost all the meat. There's a little bit right there, but man, that looks fantastic. I'll do the rest with a sharper knife. This one's pretty dull, but as you guys can see, look at the size difference between those two.
crazy.
But yeah, so that's our rock scallops here. Very underrated. Not too many people go look for them because, I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard. They're not easy to get off the rocks. They're not easy to see, and you don't get a lot of yield. But they are delicious, as you guys will see in the kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and run through these, and then, yeah, we'll show you guys what we like to do when we make them. There, and what's really interesting is you'll find these little crabs kind of in the shell. When you pop them open, they kind of fall out. So they live in the scallop and use, obviously, their shell as kind of like little house, little protection. But I kind of feel bad. Obviously, not much we can do now, but yeah, they're like little soft shell crabs. But yeah, they live inside the shells there. So they kind of got stuck along for the ride, but that's what they look like when you're all done. Alright, how's it going, guys? So we're back in the kitchen now. We have these rock scallops cleaned and ready to go. The rice is almost done. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to sear these with some garlic, butter, and lemon. And then I'm also going to throw in some green onions in there and just serve it over a little bed of rice just as an appetizer for tonight. We got Nick, Lauren, and of course,
Hi guys, nice to see you again.
so yeah, alright, so we have a little bit of olive oil in there with some butter kind of melting down. I'm going to put the garlic in there first, let that kind of brown and kind of simmer in there. And then these, again, will only take probably 20-30 seconds per side. And then I'm going to add these green onions right here in there, just kind of simmer, and then these I'll just throw right on top. So yeah, the garlic we want to put in there first. Again, this is going to take a minute and a half to cook those. Once we get this to a nice medium-high heat, get a nice little sear on there. And yeah, it should turn out all right. We're going to put some garlic salt and a little bit of pepper on these before we throw them in there also. This is the fun part right here. We're going to throw some lemon on there. Alright, so I just threw the rest of the green onions in there. I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of soy sauce. And we're going to pour this right over the top of the scallops and that rice. And there you have it. We got our lemon, garlic, butter, with garlic salt and some pepper. Served with some green onions, just over some white rice. Really simple, easy dish, just for a little appetizer tonight. So we'll see how it turned out. All right, so we just polished the scallops off. Lauren's struggling with the rice. That's okay. So Nick, what do you think?
Those are super good. Those are super tender, and they're like sweet with that garlic stuff you made. A plus.
Scallops are incredible. Super tender. Absorb the flavor perfectly. Zero fishiness. The garlic and the sauce that you made and the onions absorb all the flavors perfectly, and just, it was bomb. Best scallops probably I've ever had.
Awesome. Thank you.
Adam killed it again. I agree. It was probably the best scallops I've ever had. For texture, it seems so fresh. I love these local scallops compared to any other ones I've ever had. And great sauce, nice little appetizer. You did a great job, man.
Appetizer.
Yeah.
That's right.
All
So
right.
honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that up with the halibut, but yeah, I can't really put words to how delicious those scallops are. They're like the texture and just the way they fall apart in your mouth. And I mean, obviously, like I said earlier in the video, diving for them can be dangerous. You have to know what you're doing. Fast and the Furious again, man. It's the second time for our videos. Yeah, there's some street racers around here. Anyways,
Through this window one day.
yeah, seriously. Just, I smelled the scallops. No, honestly, they're so good. The worst thing you can do is overcook them. So
The
again,
ones didn't cook evenly, and this time they did. Like I had a couple big ones, and they were cooked all the way through. Yeah, they were perfect.
yeah. So this is my third time, kind of, cooking scallops. This is the first time doing it with this recipe. So it's just like, you just go out and you fish, you dive with your friends, you kind of tweak recipes, you have a good time. Everyone gets to enjoy some delicious, healthy food, and yeah, keeps you going back. But yeah, thanks again for watching this one, you guys. Drop a comment down below if you guys have any other scallop recipes or anything like that you guys want to see. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one.